All right, JR, go ahead and get us started.
We ready?
Mm-hmm.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Autoholics Anonymous, brought to you by the Average Squad. I'm J.R. Olive.
I'm Lee Purvis.
Kurt Barnes.
I'm Andy Carter.
And we are stoked to be bringing you another episode with video again. Hope you guys enjoyed the last one.
So if you're listening to this on just a regular audio podcast, the episode will be on our YouTube channel, and I'd encourage you to go check that out because we will be posting pictures of the cars that we are choosing for the podcast, and so you'll be able to check them out and see a little bit more about what we're looking at.
If you're not familiar with the show, Autoholics Anonymous is now a show where we pick Average Squad approved cars that are for sale somewhere in the country. Cars that spark our interest based around a theme that Andy dictates.
Yeah, so I try to look at sort of what's going on in the world of cars each week, and then we kind of go from there to have a competition to find cars on Craigslist.
Is it
A bit of friendly fire.
A little bit of, yeah. That's not quite what friendly fire means, Lee, but
What does friendly fire mean?
if we were fighting someone else and I shot you, that would be friendly fire.
That's sort of what this is.
Yeah, okay. So
I'm going to shoot you, Lee.
since it's January and cold and foggy.
It's February.
It's actually February. It's close to the end of February, actually.
Oh, look at there.
We're like pretty far in.
It's
Oh, yeah, well, I guess so. Well,
only 8 more days in February.
it is still winter. So I think we're going to talk about convertibles today. And I was inspired by an article that I read this week of the death of the Buick Cascada, which probably none of y'all
I think
knew.
it's cicada.
I think
Cicada,
it's
the Buick
Cascada.
Cicada.
The Buick Cicada made a funny noise.
Is being killed. It is not long for this world. It is based on an Opel, which is a...
Did you just say Opel?
Is it Opel?
It's Opal.
I'm pretty
it?
sure it's Opal.
Oh,
In America, anyway.
I'm just going to say things wrong today.
Well, just a little friendly fire.
A little friendly fire. Anyway, it is a regular Buick front-wheel drive based on, I'm assuming, what's the regular Buick car?
Like a Verano, maybe?
What's the one
Regal?
above that? Regal, yes. I think it's basically
Regal
just
is
like
the
a
smaller
Regal
sedan.
convertible, but it's only a two-door. Anyway, it is out of here. And I was thinking that convertibles just aren't really a thing anymore. And let me specify that I'm talking more about regular car convertibles as opposed to sports car convertibles like the Miata or
Roadsters.
the MR2
Roadsters are cars
Roadsters.
that
Yeah,
are designed
so we're not
as
really talking about
convertibles.
roadsters tonight. Talking more about regular
Like
convertibles,
cars that offer a convertible as an option.
like a Solara. Yeah. So why don't y'all think that convertibles are a thing anymore?
I think they look terrible.
They do.
It's a big reason. Like a Roadster, like a Miata, is designed to not have the top on.
Yeah, it's designed as a convertible, so it therefore looks better as a convertible than an afterthought. I mean,
It's harder to make a larger car now as a convertible. The rollover standards have just
Yeah.
you can't do it. Almost really literally cannot make a car support itself anymore on just the A-frame.
Yeah,
Or A-pillar.
You
excuse me.
think that's a lot of the reason why they have the hard tops now, like the EOS and
Oh, sure. I'm sure.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
probably they also look a lot better.
I think, too, with climate change, it's just not comfortable to ride in a convertible most of the time.
That
just,
seems silly, JR.
I'm just kidding.
JR is our resident liberal.
Hey. Hey, just imagine a world with me for just a second, if you will, where people use sarcasm and irony.
Oh my gosh, we can't use inside jokes on the podcast.
All right, but
it's not inside.
were
anymore.
they ever cool? I'm going to answer my question and say yes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yes, because
There's no
I can
doubt.
remember in middle school, well, probably high school, riding around with our friend Gavin in his Sebring convertible, which is arguably the worst possible option,
Probably the worst car ever made.
but still feeling pretty cool.
I think riding in a convertible is always. I mean, like I remember riding in a 3 Series convertible once and thinking that was just the pinnacle of
Automotive fantasy.
like luxury.
This is a JR I did not know existed.
I mean,
convertibles are cool.
yeah.
My uncle always had I guess he still does. He's one of my uncles who died and then gave the car to my other uncle. Has a '67 Impala that we always would borrow during the summer and ride around in.
It's a great car. It's hard to make that look bad. Like,
Yeah, well, that's a classic.
yeah, I think most of the for the like 60s and 70s American cars, especially the bigger like Lanyard cars, they look almost better as convertibles. Whereas I don't know that that's true for like a coupe type car that's also available as a convertible. I'm probably usually going to choose the coupe.
Can we just? What about the Murano convertible?
I respect the Murano
How
convertible.
did that happen? How did that
I think
even
Nissan just did something
A line of Coke.
crazy.
Nissan, yeah, it's Nissan. They every once in a while get a bug and they do something. The Juke was a whole model that I think they just, hey, let's do this and see how it runs.
Yeah, but it's real safe to make a sport compact, like a compact SUV.
But and it's definitely not safe to
is
make
it-
the convertible SUV.
I don't think I wouldn't call that
crossover.
safe.
I think the Juke is just a RAV4. Like
Okay. The Juke.
Toyota made the RAV4 look funny. Like they're
Well,
gonna sell.
okay, that's fine. But that's fine with the Juke, but the Cross Cabriolet Murano.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I
It's
don't
pronounced
think that.
Opal.
Is I think that's cool. I mean, I don't want one, but like
think they're cool at all.
No, I mean they're not cool, but like if you're a 50-year-old woman has a high-paying job, well, it's kind of high-paying.
You buy a Chrysler Sebring.
a medium, but
God, I
it
love
doesn't
role-
exist. There is no
love-
more Sebring.
I
Yeah.
love role play.
There is no more
going.
Sebring.
Is a Corvette a roadster?
Yes, the Corvette is designed from the start now as a Targa.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that they are all. I'm just saying, like,
I would
I would
say
exclude it. I think
Yeah.
I didn't look at anything when I was choosing my Craigslist Gold. Anything that could be remotely described as sporty. I passed.
Because I was thinking even like
not
Mustang.
saying
my pick is sporty, but it has a
bypassed.
back seat.
That's fair.
my pick is obvious. I mean, whatever. Should we dive into that?
Yeah, let's dive in. JR, yours is obvious. Go for it.
Okay. My Craigslist Gold is a 1970
Golden era, boys.
Cadillac Eldorado.
That's yep.
Ooh,
And mine is so I've cheated a little bit on the last 2 episodes since we've rebooted.
Is it Walt Whitman white with red interior?
It is perfect in that it's black and it has like patinaed to like matte,
Okay.
but with a red interior.
You gotta have.
That sounds like L.A. gangster.
And it's got white walls and wire wheels. It is, and so what I was saying about me cheating, I picked cars that fit the category and I think were perfect, but were not reasonable. They were the pinnacle version of
Sure.
the car. So they were 30. I picked a $30,000 Corolla and a $20,000 truck.
Right.
Like a $20,000 20-year-old truck. And so this Cadillac is $6,900.
That's fair.
That's hard to beat.
Is that a front wheel drive?
No. And it's
Okay.
1970. So it has the 400. So it has the 400 cubic inch V8 which made good horsepower. Like probably
it was probably 300 horsepower.
it probably made
Yeah.
350 or 400 horsepower.
Well, let's not get carried away.
I did the 400 right before, like right up until the 72 made good power. And I like the 500. I think it's a 500. It's not 400.
Cubic inch.
Yeah. The 500 cubic inch V8 in 1971 or 2 is what you want. That's the one. Like that made 400 horsepower. And then emission
I
control.
would say that's tough to beat because even like is the trim in good shape?
So this says black convertible in excellent running condition, recent $3,000 service done. Top goes up and down, but there's a hole in the top. It says might need new top. But like you're not going to drive this with the top up.
400 horsepower,
Right.
550 foot-pounds of torque.
There you go.
How much? How much?
400 horsepower, 550 foot-pounds.
But also keep in
0 to
mind
60 in 9 seconds.
How much does it weigh?
Also keep in mind that this car is
5,000 pounds.
literally probably 3 tons.
Yeah.
Like it probably weighs 3 tons.
It's a very big, heavy car.
Yeah, curb weight's like 4,894 pounds.
Without being able to look at the picture, it is like, could it pull off not having a paint job?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it wears it.
Oh,
well.
okay, yeah.
It's handsome.
I mean, to me, and it does so there's like a good sized dent in the front driver's fender.
Well, that's a trip to Dent Tricks.
Yeah, but it's like to me it's a step up from like a roadkill car. Like a roadkill car would be rougher than this.
yeah, it's like
But
a driver.
It's a driver. Yeah, it's a driver, especially from 1970. So
I think slap some bullhorns on the front, call it a dang day,
Yeah.
man.
so.
Good.
I was pretty proud of finding this.
That's a better. Yeah, I think that's better than you choosing the best possible option.
Yeah, because there are definitely $30,000 versions of this car.
Sure.
Everywhere.
God forbid you get into 59 and 60 model.
Oh
Cadillacs.
yeah. Well, 59 is the one you want, but
Drop too far, yeah. And
60
you're,
grand.
oof.
60 grand for a rough one.
right.
Yeah.
All right, Lee.
Okay, so yeah, kind of different end of the spectrum here. This is one of my favorite cars. I am not a fan at all of. I like convertibles, but I'm not a fan of cars that weren't designed as convertibles, being convertibles in most cases. This is one of the few cars that I absolutely love, and it's kind of an odd car for me to like because I'm not a fan of this mark, generally. But it's a 1998 BMW E36 M3 in Dakar yellow.
Okay.
And it's the only one I could find for sale in the country. There might be more. I didn't dig too
The only
deep.
one you mean M3 convertible or just
in Dakar
in
yellow.
yellow?
Okay.
Yeah, I
I was gonna
specifically
say-
wanted to find Dakar yellow because I think that's the best.
Yeah,
That's the best
That's
color.
the best color for that car.
And you can get these actually with a removable hardtop that looks pretty good. It kind of makes them look less like a convertible. But
I've never
it's pretty,
seen the hardtop for that.
it's weird looking.
It's pretty nice. It's got 122,000 miles on it. It is in very good shape. It's a 5-speed, which is the only way to go. And it's $8,800. So I mean, I feel like
I'd rather have mine.
I agree that yours is probably cooler for the price. But these M3s are on the upswing. They definitely are getting more expensive, and that's not
Yeah,
a
I think
bad price.
they're they probably hit bottom a couple years ago.
Yeah, where you can get them for like $3 to $5
Yeah,
grand.
super cheap. But
Yeah, and I think you're getting to a point too where younger people that couldn't buy them even when they were 9 and 10 years old because they still carried a little bit of premium. Now they're getting into the money where they can buy them now too. So expect that market to start swinging up.
Placebo effect.
Placebo?
Placebo.
is that
That's,
Yeah, okay.
how reliable are those? I mean, is it just normal par for the course BMW?
I think so. You definitely don't end up with as much electronic stuff as on the newer ones. They were pretty simple. I mean, they were straight 6. I think they had independent throttle bodies and stuff. But you'll deal with oil leaks and stuff, but major engine failures and stuff like that you won't have to worry about. They don't have any of the turbo issues that some of the later,
Is it a turbo?
It's non-turbo.
Non-turbo.
Yeah, it's a straight 6. I think.
Okay.
What about minor engine failures?
Yeah, you'll deal with those.
I feel like I've seen people who have like stripped versions of those. Like the motor.
Yeah.
You can like take the motor down to like
You can. A lot
essential
of people.
components and like
Somebody
that
correct
seems
me
appealing to me.
if I'm wrong, but I think this is the S54. Maybe it's the whatever.
Who
But
cares?
I thought
they
the
put these.
S54 is a V8, is it not?
Let me.
I think
I'll
S550
have
is a Mustang.
Yeah,
so.
that's true. But a lot of people take these engines and put them into like E30s and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They're actually a pretty stout.
So
Pretty
you
stout
buy
I
an
think
E3.
that car just has the unfortunate situation of being after the E30,
That's true.
and so it's looked down upon as not being the E30, but it's probably
I
a
just
deal.
don't like them as much as the ones. I don't really like BMWs, period. But I don't. I like the one just from a pure look standpoint that came the gen after those.
Yeah, I think the E30. You get anything past the E36 or the E39, and it's kind of like.
The E36 was the most aggressive, and I think it's because of those angular lines. After that, I can't remember his name. The guy that came in and redid the 5 Series
Bangle,
first.
Chris Bangle.
Thank you. And he rounded it off, and everybody despised the guy for it. And
So it's what did I say? It's an S50 or an S52?
I think you said S54.
Oh.
Which is probably a bit too jargon.
I don't even know.
I don't know what that
Probably a bit
means.
too much jargon.
I'm not a BMW person.
Nope. So I don't think anyone is. So
Okay, Kurt, what you got?
Okay. I also went back old school, and the reason I did that is I grew up child of the 70s, and Mike Brady on the Brady Bunch, the early episodes, he always drove Chrysler products, but in like 71, they switched him over to GM stuff, and he always had a GM ragtop, a new one every season. I looked and looked for a 72 Impala convertible. I could not find that, but I found a 72 Buick LeSabre convertible,
Which is the great value version.
and call it that. But it's I was impressed with it. This one now, and I know this is where I'm hurting. It looks to be at least partially restored. As a matter of fact, it looks very restored, and the price is a little higher than what our normal kind of Craigslist Gold is. We're at $13,950. But
what color is it?
it is your favorite color, JR. Well, it's actually darker.
It's like a copper color. It looks like.
It's a darker red. It's maroon. How's that?
I mean,
We'll
that
call
looks
it
good
dark
on that car.
red.
Can I see
Looks
it?
Fine on that
you.
car.
But-
It's a cool looking car.
It's as a matter of fact, code 75 equal Buick paint number is fire red.
Buick. I mean,
Straight, no dents, no rust. Built in Kansas City plant and never left. It's from Kansas City. Still lives there apparently.
That's a neat story.
Always garage maintained, pampered. New front bumper when painted. All other chrome, stainless, excellent. New weather stripping. Brand new white working top. Correct ivory white interior with new and front back seat reconditioned correctly. Door panels, dash steering wheel have no cracks.
What year is it?
72.
Is that
Such a weird era.
This
Like,
was
I think it's a pretty clean car. Like
No,
I'm,
it
I'm,
looks clean.
I'm looking at some period correct
I just
photography, and it's a clean car.
it's a stock 350. This one had power brakes, power steering. It's a 4-barrel. I mean, it's a pretty basic car, but it's what I think of when I think of these convertibles is this was almost the last time you had a constant model in the lineup of a coupe version or a sedan version, and then a convertible version also was early, mid-70s. After that, they just tapered off, and we didn't see them anymore as a regular thing,
Right.
convertible and
Looking
hardtop
at how
version.
thin those A-pillars are, I would not want to be in a rollover crash.
It would be, I think,
imagine you
hard to
rolling
roll
over-
one of those.
Yeah.
also.
Yeah.
That's
And
okay. That's
I think
fair.
it's-
But if somehow
If you could flip a 72 Buick, you are doing something.
And Buick, I mean, Buick's in this era. I mean, Buick was still sort of a.
A car maker.
But I mean, in GM's lineup, the Buick was still like a sort of that weird version of luxury performance, you know?
Yeah. They had cars like the Grand Sport.
It was like a tier. It was like a tier nicer than. It was like
Pontiac.
a Pontiac with wood grain.
yeah, I really like the bench seat. Kurt just showed me some pictures.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
all like the Cadillac has. I mean, you could fit
Yeah.
Yeah,
Super,
you
super
could
clean
fit 8
car.
people in them.
It's definitely worth what he's asking, but I think I'd rather have the clout and save $5,000 and just buy JR's Cadillac.
all right.
Because you're going to get the same.
Well, let me see if I can top that.
Go for it.
All right, here we go. It is a 1957 Nash Metropolitan.
You want to park that in the trunk of JR's Cadillac?
Yes, it has. I don't know if y'all have ever seen these,
That's
but
a cool euphemism.
it looks.
Andy wants to park his Nash in the trunk of JR's Cadillac.
I'm familiar with these.
Yes, and so it looks like something from The Incredibles, like double wheel skirts. Well, I guess it's not really a skirt. I mean, it's just like the covered wheels. Runs great, fun to drive, clear Texas title.
Two-tone?
Comes with a two-tone pale yellow and white.
That's great.
Comes with a convertible and a hardtop. And here's where I'm going to get you.
I think
Okay,
they were all convertibles, weren't they?
I think maybe Here it
All
is.
hardtop
Andy's never
convertibles.
heard of one before today.
No, I've seen them around. They are tiny. Engine is a Toyota 20R 4-cylinder with Toyota 5-speed transmission.
Get out of here.
Car has front disc brakes and a dual master cylinder.
All right.
Extra parts included new aftermarket front and rear sway bars. Didn't have them from the factory. Original front seat has Subaru bucket seats now. One rear axle and a car cover.
So this is simultaneously the worst Nash Metropolitan and the worst Toyota truck you can buy.
It is
Now, how much? I'm anxious to see the
$6,500, and it is in. It's in Kingwood. I don't know where Kingwood is. Hold up, let me zoom out of the map here.
My Cadillac is a Jersey.
Oh, it's in Texas, outside of Houston.
It's dead reliable.
It-
They fixed the worst thing about it.
I just think
Somebody fixed the worst thing about it.
there are no interior pictures, so I can't see the Subaru bucket seats. But I'm going to assume
it's terrible.
I'm going to assume they're STI
Yeah, right. That's the thing.
STI bucket
Could
seats.
ruin it. But
I mean, they just look.
I think if
They
that
just look
was-
black.
If that was $5,000, that would be.
I have a feeling this guy's not getting a ton of offers and would probably take $5,000.
I think that's neat.
It is neat, and it's yellow
Does it say
and
20R
white.
or 22R?
20R.
I'd like to see what he did. I'd like to see like a build book on that. Not
I mean,
I need it to buy that car, but I would like to see how he. Wow.
I mean, the engine.
At first, he put the motor in the car.
Does it have a Weber on it?
Yeah, but how?
I don't. Kurt, does this have a Weber?
Let me
I don't. No idea.
Yes. Yes, Kurt,
Yeah,
that's
that's
a
a
Weber.
Weber. That's not the factory intake. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Why did you touch me under the table there?
Well,
Lee?
I was leaning over to fart on
That's
you.
cool.
It
That
is cool. It is cool.
I was ready to poop on it, but
I mean, yeah. I
Power
was.
Swap makes it.
I knew choosing a Nash would be a little tough.
Like,
I
and to
think
be
they're
fair, I
cool
bet that thing will
cars.
get down. Those things don't weigh. I mean,
Oh yeah.
It has
bet it'll get
49 horsepower, and it says, admittedly, can't really keep up in traffic.
wait. Well, that something's off about.
Oh no! I'm sorry. These cars had about
Yes.
49 horsepower
That's what I was
originally.
about to
It
say.
can't keep up
Yeah,
in traffic.
20R, man. 20R
Okay.
will squall.
What?
Well,
What
That
did
thing will
the
slap
with,
some
with
scat.
the right gearing.
What
if
did-
it's a Celica transmission?
what did the 20R come in?
Celica's pickup truck.
So like, is that what JR's car has?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's exactly the motor in my car, and that car probably weighs 500 pounds less.
It'll pull a greased duck out of a goose's ass or whatever.
how big are these?
They're small.
They're small.
They're
They're,
very small.
They're very small.
K car size.
Think K car. Think
really?
cappuccino. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like those Nissan. They're like Figaros or
You
whatever.
ever seen
Yeah.
a Nash Metropolitan? They're like about the same size.
Oh, okay, but this one has a Toyota engine.
They're like the.
Yeah.
They look like. We've
They
seen
can't
them.
be
They've
that
been at-
small. They gotta
they've
hide
been
that
at con-
tall
Yeah,
stick, boy.
I feel like it looks like something that would be in the Incredibles.
Yeah, it's like that.
Kurt's finding some specs. Kurt's finding some dimensions.
Well, I wanted to get an image.
Get a picture with somebody standing next.
Yeah,
to it.
exactly is what I'm looking for here. And
So, what do we think? Were there any? So, know what I was surprised by are the number of MGBs for sale all around the country.
Yeah,
Because I just did convertible.
they're terrible.
None of them run.
Yeah, MGBs and the Alfa
The
Romeo.
thing that I don't understand about MGBs is that they've always like. I feel like you could. There's never been a time when those weren't available.
Have you ever seen any MGDs? Because you can MGDs nuts.
But as far as like somebody undertook that, it seems like a 20R in an MGB would be way more fun than in a
Nash.
Nash.
I'm sure
I bet
the
you can't-
Nash.
Oh yeah, those are tiny.
I'm sure the Nash handles really well.
Well, it's got sway bars now.
Yeah, and bucket seats from a 2019 STI.
actually know
MGBs
somebody.
MGBs are ripe for like doing a Cobra, like a Carroll Shelby type thing, where you just put something stupid in.
Isn't
them.
that what a
Yeah,
No,
but I mean,
well,
what? Why would you buy an MGB instead of like seeing MGBs and Miatas for
'Cause you're
sale
an
for the same
enthusiast.
prices? Is like I don't want that.
Well,
you're-
because you want.
I mean, what do you mean? In a way,
I just feel like I would rather have an NA Miata than
There are people
an
who
MGB.
congratulations. That's the whole reason the NA Miata was
Right. Well, I know that's my.
So a guy in college, I think Josh Rogers bought an MG. And
like an MGB.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think that people who want something neat, aren't necessarily like they appreciate cars but aren't into cars. They're not over the stigma of the Miata. Like Miata to a casual is like
Hairdresser's car.
Yeah, is lame.
MGB enthusiast.
MGB is like
it's a
classic.
cool old car.
It's a cool old car.
Roadster.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter that it's going to break down.
The coupes look really cool.
Oh, they look good.
Yeah.
I mean,
they're just terrible.
I just don't want one, and I don't want the Fiat, whatever they are, the one from the Graduate. Is it from the Graduate? Was that the car that was in the Graduate?
I don't know.
No. Sure. Yeah, but the Spiders. All right. Well, are we ready to vote?
I'm sure.
I'm gonna vote for JR.
Yeah, I'm gonna vote for JR.
Yay! It's been a while since I won.
Yeah, it's. I think JR's is the perfect combination of classic and affordable.
And I will chalk this up to finally figuring out how to work Auto Tempest.
Yeah.
Man, fill me in. I've been trying to.
So
we will have an Auto Tempest lesson after this.
The thing that worked for me was clicking. There's like a button down at the bottom. It's like they didn't want you to see. That was like open. Like you have to set parameters, or else your computer will fall apart. But so I set pretty strict parameters for what I was trying to find, and it opened 20 tabs. It opened 20 tabs in individual Craigslist pages.
Yeah,
it was just like
that's what I've.
And so then I just clicked on each one, and there were 20 cars to look at. So I just went through that and But in the past, I've always had to click and go back and forth in an eBay, and it's just terrible.
Yeah.
But I finally got it to work, and that's how I found this, and I was super stoked.
I've been using a pretty cool site just for. Well, we can talk about that later. It's not really important.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Well, I think this has been another good one. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Send us some ideas of what you want us to look for in the future.
Oh, don't forget to visit averagesquad.bigcartel.com.
Oh, just
averagesquad.com.
Averagesquad.com.
Oh, cool. I forgot that we linked those up.
Yeah.
Last year.
We pay money so that we don't have to say all that.
Averagesquad.com.
Yeah. All right, guys. Catch you next time.
Bye.
Have a great one.